What's up, everybody? It is Gordon Talks MMA, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This will be my first video uploaded. I have a bunch in the privates from starting a year ago. I've been uploading just in my private, so if you guys like this video, I can upload a bunch of the old ones to see my old other predictions and stuff of other UFC fights. But yeah, what I'm going to be doing on this channel, just talking everything UFC. Most of it will probably just be my predictions for events. So that's what this video is going to be today. It is going to be my predictions for the card coming up on Saturday, with the headliner being between middleweights Roman Dolidze and Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. So, in the first fight of the night, we're just going to go right into it. First fight of the night. It's an interesting one. We got Cody Brundage and Eric McConaughey. So, Cody Brundage, background check. Most MMA, even if you're an MMA casual, you probably know who Cody Brundage is. He is coming off of a draw to Mansour Abdul Malik in June, I believe that was. That was just in June. But yeah, he's got one of the weirdest records in UFC history, actually. But his last 4 fights have been nuts. He's been like 1-1, 1-1, which is crazy. I don't even know how that's possible. But anyway. But yeah, so we got him. He is a minus 160 favorite at the time that I wrote my predictions down. So yesterday against Eric McConaughey. And it's a very unpredictable and difficult fight to call. Like, this fight can go so many ways. I'm not confident about my pick here at all. I think this is such an unpredictable battle. Eric McConaughey only 0-1 in the UFC, with his only loss coming to Nursultan Ruzaboyev in February, which, I mean, that's a tough competitor, but he did only land 5 significant strikes in that fight. So, listen, in this one, I'm going with Brundage. Not confident about it again, but I'm going Brundage to get it done in the first. I've got a lot of finishes for this card because the Apex cards have been coming crazy with the finishes. So I got Cody Brundage by first round TKO because, listen, he was a lot more, I mean, in the last 2 fights that he's had, he's put up his 2 highest significant strike totals against Abdul Malik and Julian Marquez. And I think he was a lot more tentative. He wasn't really rushing in as much against Mansour Abdul Malik because I think he was a bit afraid of the power. But I don't think he's really going to have anything to be afraid about when it comes to Eric McConaughey. So I think he will choose to keep this on the feet. He's not going to take it to the ground because he hasn't landed a takedown since 2023, I believe. So I think he's just going to attack. I think both fighters are going to hurt each other in this fight. But overall, I think Cody Brundage will be able to find a barrage of punches to put him down and out in this one. Right, next up, we've got women's MMA fight. We've got Gabriela Fernandez taking on Julia Stoliarenko. So, women's MMA is always hard to call, but I'm fairly confident. I've got about medium confidence for my pick in this one. Going Fernandez. I'm just going to say it. I cannot bring myself to take Stoliarenko to win a UFC fight. She's 2-6 in the UFC. Both arm bars. And her last win came against Molly McCann, who ended up being a can in those last 2 years of her career. So it's not really an impressive win that she took whatsoever. I think what's going to happen here, I think Stoliarenko, she's going to be looking for that takedown, and I think she'll be able to get that takedown early in the fight. I think she'll be able to get that takedown, and she'll look for that signature armbar, but I don't think she's going to get it, and she's going to be put in a position that takes her to the bottom and allowing Fernandez to take top position and let off a lot of damage. Listen, Fernandez, we know she's got that power. She got a club and sub on ranked competition, Wang Kong, last time out. So, listen, I like her to get a finish here, and I like her to get it early because Stoliarenko's last 2 losses have both been TKO losses from ground and pound. So, I like Fernandez to do it early. I think Fernandez is going to get a round 1 TKO in this one as a minus 425 favorite. All right, next one. Back-to-back women's MMA fights. We have Jocelyn Edwards taking on Priscilla Cachoeira. And this one's pretty high confidence for me in a grand scheme of women's MMA things. I was wrong on Cachoeira's last fight. I picked her to lose. She knocked out Josiane Nunez. But I'm very confident in Jocelyn Edwards and the run that she's been on. After not getting any finishes in the UFC prior to her last 2 fights, she's on a 2-fight finish streak. She's entering her prime. Priscilla Cachoeira is about 36, 37 years old. I think Jocelyn Edwards is going to have it everywhere in this fight. I think she'll be able to keep her at bay on the feet. I think she'll be able to get those takedowns at will. Cachoeira really struggles in the ground game realm of things. So I think Jocelyn will be able to take it there whenever she wants. And I do see Edwards getting a finish here. I think she'll get it late in this one. Cachoeira tends to get finished either submission or ground and pound when she's put in uncomfortable positions on the ground. And I think late in this one, I expect Jocelyn Edwards to find a rear naked choke in the 3rd round. It's a minus 325 favorite in this one. All right, next up we've got Uros Medic versus Gilbert Urbina. So I'm kind of confident on this one. I'm taking Medic. I think he should win. But I don't know, man. He got slumped bad in his last fight, so I'm a little hesitant picking him here. But, it's hard to bring myself to take Urbina to win a fight. He has not looked good in the UFC thus far. If he's going to win this fight, it's going to be with that wrestling. And I think he's going to get that takedown early on in the fight. But I just don't know if he's good enough to be able to keep him there or do anything significant with that takedown or with that control time. I think, Medic, he got taken out 7 times by Oral By. He got taken out and submitted by Jalen Turner. And, I think those guys are much higher level of competition than Gilbert Urbina is, obviously. But, I think when that 2nd round starts and they're both back on their feet, I think Uros Medic is going to apply that pressure really quick because I think he can do whatever he wants to Urbina in the striking exchanges. I expect him to land big shots, put the pressure on, land heavy blows, and take him out with a barrage of punches pretty early into that 2nd round. I think he's just going to put it on him, and Urbina's not going to have any reply. All right, next up, we've got the biggest favorite on this card. We got Elijah Smith coming in for a 2nd UFC appearance, taking on Toshiomi Kazama, who is also coming off a win against Karlampos Grigoriou, a 2nd round triangle choke. But putting that aside, I'm going with Elijah Smith. I think Elijah Smith he looked very, very good in a difficult test against a crafty veteran like Vince Morales. I think he was able to, he outstruck him on the feet by a significant margin, and he was doing a good job in those grappling exchanges, both offensive and defensive. So, listen, I know Kazama's going to try and take this fight to the ground, but I don't think that's going to do him any favors. I think Smith will be able to accept those scrambles and hang with him there, and when it's on the feet, Kazama's been dropped 4 times in his first 3 UFC fights, and he's been knocked out in the 1st round in 2 of them. So, I've got Elijah Smith by 1st round overwhelming knockout at minus 700 odds, and I'm very, very, very confident about that. All right, I'm going to run through these ones a little bit quicker, less explanation, because I don't have a light in my room at the moment, so I'm just using the flashlight from my fucking phone. Using the flashlight from my phone, and it's fucking blinding me. So, Julius Walker and Sir Kiera. I've got Walker by 1st round knockout, minus 650 odds, very confident about it. Made the mistake of taking Sir Kiera against Bukauskas, got slumped in the 1st round. And yeah, he's just not UFC caliber. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that one, really. All right, next we have Christian Leroy Duncan taking on Eric Anders. Eric Anders, he's been dropped in all 3 of his last fights against dudes like Jamie Pickett and a old washed Chris Weidman. So I think Christian Leroy Duncan is going to present many problems for him on the feet. I think Anders is going to have to try to get to that takedown if he wants to get a win in this one, but I just don't see it happening. I think Leroy Duncan is going to be too quick, too crafty, too good at setting up the punches early in this fight, and I think he takes him out in the first round at minus 550 odds. And yeah, I'm very confident about that one. Now we've got Gene Matsumoto taking on Miles Johns. It could be a good fight. I think it will be a good fight, but I just think Matsumoto is better everywhere. At minus 325, I've got him by unanimous decision. I think he can take all 3 rounds. I think he'll be quicker. He'll be slicker on the feet. I think he'll be able to deal with any wrestling attacks that Miles Johns brings, and I think he'll be able to land takedowns of his own. He looked really good against Rob Font and debatably won that fight. And Rob Font is an easy competition. So, yeah, I think Matsumoto is just one level above Miles Johns here, and I think he's going to take that win. Now, in the next fight, my first upset of the night. Not confident about it at all, but my first upset of the night, I've got Andre Fili taking the victory over C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez, as a plus 200 underdog, strictly for the reason that Christian Rodriguez hasn't beat a quote-unquote real UFC fighter. He's a prospect killer, and solely that. When he's fought dudes like Jonathan Pierce, who else has he fought? Jonathan Pierce. He has fought Julian Erosa and Melchizedek Acosta. They've all beat him. Erosa shouldn't have won that fight. I think Rodriguez is probably better than Pierce. Like, realistically, Rodriguez has more skill than Fili, especially as of recent times. But I think Fili can probably do enough to play the veteran in this one and make it a gritty and ugly fight and win this fight by split decision. So, yeah, that's my pick. And now, in the next one, I've got another underdog, my last underdog of the card. Angela Hill. I think she's going to beat Yasmin Lucindo. And I think she'll do it quite comfortably, actually. I think scorecards are going to look like 30-27 for her. Probably like 129-28, but I think she's going to be able to deal with the takedowns of Lucindo. I think she might be able to mix in a couple of her own. I think she's going to show that experience. She's going to be able to take Lucindo to deep waters. Yeah, I think she's going to have very much of the upper hand in the striking exchanges, and I think this is a great underdog pick to go with here. I'm moderately confident about this one, women's MMA, so can never be too confident, but yeah, I've got Hill by unanimous decision in this one. Now, for the co-main, I've got my boy trying to break that skid, and boy, oh boy, he better break that fucking skid. Steve Astroboy Urseg, I've got him, well, I'll say, he's winning this fight. He's my lock of the night as well. Yeah, I've got him beating Ode Osborne. I think he knocks him out in the first round. I just think Ode's 12-8 in the UFC, 13-8, whatever, some stupid number. Urseg should outclass this guy everywhere. Like, he could take it to the ground, but I don't think this fight's going to last long enough for him to even need to take it to the ground. I think, listen, the way that Urseg was able to utilize those elbows on Pantoja when he was coming in and cut Pantoja open, a chinny Ode Osborne on short notice, I think, will try to run in like he commonly does and get cracked with an elbow right on the forehead, put him down, and Urseg will finish it off with a couple ground and pound punches, and Urseg will break that skid in a desperately needed way as the minus 575 favorite. And yeah, so that is my lock of the night. And now, onto the main event. Roman Dolidze taking on Fluffy Hernandez. So Dolidze, he is on 2-fight win streak? 3-fight win streak, actually. He won at light heavyweight against Anthony Smith, and then beat Kevin Holland and Marvin Vettori. Yeah, all solid wins. Not too bad. And before that, had that majority decision loss to Imavov, which, to be fair, Imavov is the number one contender right now in the middleweight division, so fair enough. And Fluffy Hernandez is on a big winning streak. Most recently beating Brendan Allen in Seattle by decision, and then beat Michel Pereira by TKO. And he's beaten, who else on that win streak? Who did he beat before Pereira? Was it Shabazian? No. Shabazian was a while ago. Kopylov, Shabazian, Barrio, bunch of dudes. But yeah, I think early on in this fight, it's going to be Dolidze. I think Dolidze, although he's not a great striker, I like his striking before I like Anthony Hernandez's striking. But I don't think he's going to do enough to badly damage or especially not tire out Hernandez or put out Hernandez. Like Hernandez, his last loss was that knockout to Kevin Holland, but that's a long time ago, and I don't think Dolidze is the same striker that Kevin Holland is. So, yeah, I think Dolidze will take that first round for sure. But then I think from that second round forward, people are saying the first 2 rounds, Dolidze is probably going to be Dolidze's realm. I think even from that second forward is where Fluffy Hernandez is going to begin to implement his game plan. Roman Dolidze, only 33% takedown defense. So I think going into that fight with Fluffy with only that takedown defense is just setting you up for failure. And I think Hernandez is going to dump him repeatedly. He's going to put that pressure on him. He's going to make it very tiring and a very threatening fight for Dolidze to be a part of. And overall, this could be a finish. But I've got Hernandez winning this one by a very dominant unanimous decision with a 10-8 in either the 4th or 5th round on 2 of the judges' scorecards. As a minus 340 favorites. Very confident about that pick. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about my predictions. Let me know what your predictions are. Yeah, I think this could shape up to be an okay card. Like on paper, the fights are not very good, but listen, the last Apex card was very, very good last week, and a lot of finishes. I predict there to be a lot of finishes here. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and yeah, see y'all in a bit. Peace.